Mike is at a budget meeting for Kennebec County's budget. They're still working on their budget, so I think he's down there trying to work it down from the 10% increase they're talking about. Maybe they'll have some luck. Welcome to everybody, and the first thing on the agenda is to consider approving the minutes from February 12th.
I move we approve the minutes.
Second, all those in favor? Business agenda. The first item on the agenda is Mr. Smart. He's here somewhere to talk about the first reading of the land use ordinance.
You guys have all received your packet, right? Your changes to the land use ordinance, right? So as you know, we spoke about this before. This is in regards to the new law LD 2003 with accessory dwelling units. We had to adopt our land use ordinance with that verbiage that's in there. Now, I had help with Jessica Call from Katie Cohen, and I worked with her a lot on this. We went through the meetings of the planning board and came up with this final draft. The things that have changed on this, so everything on the screen up there, everything in yellow has been reworded to make more sense. It hasn't been changed. It's just easier to read from our current land use ordinance that we have now. Everything that was in green, as Kelly scrolled down, everything that was in green on that is the changes that were made. I'm sure you guys received that email with those yellow and green key on there.
On your computer you
On your
did.
computer you did.
For some reason it didn't print in color.
So everything that was in yellow is reworded. Everything that in green is new. The only thing that we changed in our old ordinance as far as any major changes was that right there on D, you'll see that that's our current land use ordinance now, which says for landlocked lots that are not part of a subdivision. That used to be a 24-foot right of way or width that was allowed to have. The planning board decided to change that to 24 feet to mainly follow suit with other towns in the area. We've always had a 20-foot right of way. They've changed it to a 24-foot right of way. That was the only change to our current wording, I would say, to our current ordinance. The rest of it, section 6 and on, is all new. That's all stuff from LD 2003.
Which is required by the state.
It's required. We were allowed to do a few creative things, not much on this. As far as if you go to K right there, the ADU may be no greater than 1,000 square feet or exceed 50% of the square footage of the primary dwelling unit, whichever is greater. We were allowed to put parameters there, meaning that we could, change it to 800 square feet or not exceed 50%, or 1,200 or 2,000 or 3,000 square feet. Again, with the advice of Jessica from KB Todd, she put the 1,000 square feet and not to exceed 50%. It was tough for us to read, so I had her put an example in there for us. So the example right there is that the primary dwelling is 12,000 square feet size, you cannot exceed 1,000 square feet, so on and so forth. That was one of the changes that was one of the parameters that we could morph into what we wanted, and that's what the planning board decided on that one. The rest of it is standard. Not much for changes as far as subsurface wastewater still plays a key in this. Most of the accessory dwelling units that we'll probably see in Oakland will be with town water and sewer. Every unit will still need, for our sewer ordinance, will still need its own connection to the main. So let's say that you have a house on your property and you put an accessory dwelling unit off to the side for some supplemental income and provide housing. You are not allowed to use the main, the connection to the main that you're using for your main house. You actually have to run a new sewer line to connect into the main. That's for our sewer ordinance. This does not supersede that. The only thing that supersedes this would be the shoreline zoning. Shoreline zoning doesn't allow for ADUs unless you have the minimum frontage of 200 feet of frontage per dwelling unit. So if you had 400 feet of frontage and you had 2 acres of property, you're allowed then to put an accessory dwelling unit if you'd like within 100 feet of the 250 zone. So pretty standard. We worked on this, John Cox is on our planning board and he worked on this as well. I think that we nailed it down pretty well. You guys have any questions?
So we'll do the second reading at the next meeting.
Yeah.
And we'll-
Yeah, I think it's pretty clear, it's pretty cut and dry. It's pretty bare bones.
Is he telling the truth, John? It's all set.
Hey, do you want to consider this our first reading?
We should vote.
Yeah. All those in favor? That was motion by Bob and seconded by Dave.
Yes.
It was helpful to see it in the 2 different colors.
It wasn't it? Yeah,
Very helpful.
Emails that way to you guys, but
That
it
was,
didn't print.
yeah,
I
it
also-
was very helpful to see it that way.
Yeah.
I also printed it out for myself for tonight, that didn't print in color either, so I had to like.
I think we defaulted the server
Yeah.
copier one to print no color to save money,
Yeah,
because.
Dave, did you work with, Jessica Sutherland on this? You said?
I did, yeah, worked with her quite a bit on this one, yeah. And this was grant funded, so there was some funding up there for us for municipalities.
Yep.
And the deadline was the end of March. Or the beginning, sorry, the end of February, beginning of March for the funding, so we had plenty of time to work on this, and we worked on it for quite a long time. Getting it down to where it is
I
today.
think that's good. We've been a member there for years and we don't often take advantage of the services they provide as much as we should. And
Yeah.
I know Kelly's been working with them some lately and now that's good to hear that you are. And
Yeah.
we
Getting their
still-
money's worth.
And they're just great, they're quick to respond and they're quick to help. They really are.
That's good. Second item is the AYCC polo plunge, March 22nd.
Yes, so Nicole from the Pressy House, is on the committee for the polar plunge for the Alpine Youth Center, and they would like to use the Oakland boat landing again. They'll provide insurance and liability and all that. I've alerted the PD and the fire, they are both available to be there that day. They've done it in the past, so.
Questions or discussion? Do we have a motion? Seconded by Bob, all those in favor? As long as I don't have to jump in the nice cold water.
And they said if any counselors or anybody from the town of Oakland to be a jumper that,
Where would we sign up?
I'll take care of it for you,
with the
Bob.
boat. Yeah,
If I sign up, will you pledge me?
absolutely, I'll give you $100.
Going once, going twice. Item 3 on the agenda, request for comments from the abutters of Waterville.
So we got this from, I guess, the city of Waterville is planning on doing their comprehensive plan. And they sent a notice to Fairfield, Sydney and Winslow, all the abutters that they're going to be submitting their municipal comprehensive plan to the Department of Agriculture, Conservation and Forestry. They asked us to post it. Written comments can be accepted through March 27th. You can also view it online. And then they sent public notice that is posted in the town office that they asked us to post. So that's more of a FYI. I think it's,
I thought it was kind of odd that we got it. I
Yeah.
haven't seen anything quite like that.
I guess that answers my question. I was gonna ask you if we did that when you guys did the comprehensive plan.
Let's Garvin did it at night sometime.
Yeah,
No,
It's
I,
Agriculture, Conservation, and Forestry Department.
that's who you do your comprehensive plan through, isn't it?
Is that?
I don't know. I thought it was, but.
I thought it was through DEC.
Oh,
Yeah,
maybe.
that's
I'm not sure.
That's what.
I have no idea what,
Oh,
so I guess I'm okay with it.
yeah, me too.
Main road management.
So this shouldn't affect us essentially in any
I
way.
mean,
You wouldn't think so.
I mean, I read it and I was trying to figure out, and why? Like, you know,
I mean, maybe their growth management, they've grown a lot, so maybe we're gonna start seeing that overflow because they're getting full. I don't know. Should be nice. Yeah, it's just more of an FYI. Yes,
That's the end of our written agenda. Any additions?
no. None.
I had a question. The meeting with the school department, has that been scheduled yet?
March 4th, the night of the budget meeting,
Oh, okay.
where
Cool.
Superintendent Gartley's coming, Mike Tracy, who's one of our reps, and Chelsea Oliver, the other rep, is coming.
Okay.
Laura Tracy has a prior commitment.
I don't know if everybody knows what that is, but they're coming to explain their budget and any other questions that we might have for them.
And that's the date where the council and budget advisory got to wrap up the,
Yeah.
have the final to go to print.
Then the next meeting, we'll vote on warrant articles. And then you'll sign it the last meeting in March.
I will say, I think we've had some very good discussions with the budget advisory committee this year. We chewed everything apart, spit it out 2 or 3 times, and Kelly's able to go in her program and add in items if we want to see what the final line looks like, or take out items that we're talking about. And so I think it's worked very well.
Except for the recordings, using the fire department's machine
Well-
last night. Beautiful video, no sound.
I think,
We'll have sound tonight.
I think we've had a lot of good discussions though, so.
Yeah, we have.
Have you done the figures with plugging in the county at 10%? Or-
That's all figured when we commit taxes. That's
So-
not figured in on the municipal side, but I can get the.
Well,
tax-
when do they finalize their county budget? Long before we commit taxes or I don't know.
By April. April, May,
Okay,
but I can plug in what I think it's gonna be, because right now it's at a 9% increase, which is like $157,000, so. School's estimating to be 325. It's almost a mil. Which is-
Kelly, you have anything?
I just have one question, and I keep forgetting to do this. Excuse me. Marston. The Marston Road, is that now no bridge?
Bridge is gone.
Are we responsible for putting up a dead end sign? I know there's a sign that says bridge closed that DOT put up, but I didn't know if, as a town, are we, only because I drive by it every day, I wondered. Do we have to put up a sign that says dead end? I just don't want to get us in trouble if we're supposed to. I don't know how signs work.
Big into the Master Road's not in Oakland.
No, that's what I was asking, wondering, I wondered how much of it, if any, was in Oakland.
Whereas the Oakland is the other side.
I have a friend that lives there, part of her.
Big Sky Drive and all that,
And part
that's
of it is,
towards Oakland.
yeah, part of it is.
But the Marston Road is not us.
Okay, didn't know that. Thank you.
I can have Jeff ask the sign guy, this Waterville does our signs. Say, hey. Might wanna put one up.
Signs, where you put signs up as a town, are you, I know we're liable if they're not readable or they're just covered and stuff like that. So just because I drive by it every day, it made me think of it.
I assume the concrete barriers are still there, but I haven't driven in to see.
I haven't driven in to see it there.
They had concrete barriers there when the bridge was closed.
Yeah.
But I assume they left them, but I don't know that.
You would hope.
Yeah. Yeah. Dave, got anything?
I'm all set.
I'm good.
Motion to adjourn?
Wait a minute, anybody else got anything? We have an executive session with window, so
We
we
do.
have a motion to adjourn.
I knew we go in to an executive session. That's what you want, right?
Yeah.
Well, one, MRSA, section 405, 6.